Hello students, today we are going to discuss the design of sewer topic. In the design of sewer, the first topic which we are going to study is the self-cleansing velocity. Now, it is the velocity which causes both floating and heavy solids to get transported easily. If we not maintain this value in our sewer, then what will happen? All the organic matter will settle down in the sewer only, and no organic matter will be left out from the outlet of the sewer. That's why we need to maintain a minimum velocity which is known as self-cleansing velocity in the sewer, and its value will be equals to 1 by n r to the power 1 by 6 ks into gs minus 1 into dp to the power 1 by 2, where gs is the specific gravity of particle, dp is the particle size or the diameter of particle, ks is a constant whose value ranges between 0.04 to 0.8, r is the hydraulic mean radius of sewer, n is the Manning's coefficient. Generally, the self-cleansing velocity will be equals to 0.45 meter per second, and it is assumed that almost 75 to 80% of accounted water supplies goes into sewage, which is a very large amount. Okay, now that will be the self-cleansing velocity. Now we can move to the next parameter, that is the flow in sewer. Now we want to calculate the flow in sewer. For the flow calculation in sewer, we have two formulas such as Manning's formulas and Hazen-Williams formula. Now Manning's formula gives the velocity of flow or flow in sewer equals to 1 by n r to the power 2 by 3 and s to the power 1 by 2, where r is the hydraulic mean radius and s is the slope of sewer, and we all know that n is the Manning's coefficient. Now Hazen-Williams formula will be equals to 0.849 cr to the power 0.63 and s to the power 0.54. Rest other parameters are same, only c will be different, that is the Hazen-Williams coefficient, that is the flow in sewers. Clear to all? Now we can see the different types of design condition for different pipe sizes. Okay, now if the pipe size is less than 0.4 meter, we need to supply in the sewer at least half of the depth of flow water. Okay, so the design condition is half full at maximum discharge. If diameter is in between 0.4 to 0.8, then the design condition will be 2/3 full at maximum discharge, and if the diameter is greater than 0.9, then it will be equals to 3 by full at maximum discharge. That will be the design condition which we need to maintain according to the size of pipe. Okay, now we need to discuss certain criterias which we need to maintain in our sewer, that is the maximum hourly discharge, maximum daily discharge, minimum hourly discharge and minimum daily discharge. These two parameters we had already seen, these two parameters in the sources of water and water demand and the variation in demand. Okay, now in the water treatment, the maximum hourly demand will be equals to 2.7 times of average daily demand. We had rounded it off to the next integer, which will be equals to 3 into average daily discharge. Now maximum daily discharge will be equals to 1.8 into average daily discharge, which we had rounded off to the 2 into average daily discharge. Now we had designed the maximum condition, now we need to find the minimum conditions also. So the minimum hourly discharge will be equals to 1/3 of average daily discharge, and minimum daily discharge will be equals to 2/3 of average daily discharge. This is the condition which we need to maintain in our sewer for the efficient working of the sewer. Now that is the design of sewer. Now we will see the hydraulic characteristic of circular sewer. In this diagram, two types of flow will be taking as. First one is the when the depth of flow is capital D. It means that when the sewer is flowing at full of its capacity. Okay. Now the second one will be the when the depth is small d, then we will take the flow for the small d depth, that is for the partially flow in the sewer. Okay, now we will see various parameters in the hydraulic characteristic of circular sewer according to this. Now if this whole angle is alpha, then what will be the this half angle? It will be equals to alpha by 2. Okay, now we will first go for the determination of depth of flow. Now for the depth of flow small d, what will be the value? It will be equals to OB minus OD. Now we know that OB will be equals to D by 2 because it is the radius of the circular sewer, so it will be equals to D by 2 minus OD. Now we need to find the OD value, for which we generally take the triangle AOD. We generally take the triangle AOD, in which we generally apply sine alpha by 2, which will be equals to perpendicular upon hypotenuse, and its value will be equals to AD upon OA. Now OA will be equals to D by 2, so AD value will comes out as D by 2 sine alpha by 2. Okay, now that will be the value of AD. Now we will go for the cos alpha by 2 in the same triangle. It will be equals to base upon hypotenuse, that will be equals to OD upon AO. Okay, now it will be equals to D by 2 cos alpha by 2. So we had determined the OD value as well as AD value. Now in the depth of flow there will be OD parameter, so we need to write here the OD value, which will be equals to D by 2 minus D by 2 cos alpha by 2. Now if we take the common, that is D by 2 from the whole equation, okay, now it will be equals to D by 2 1 minus cos alpha by 2. Now if we write it as D by D ratio, it will be equals to half of 1 minus cos alpha by 2. Now that will be the ratio which is known as the proportionate depth of flow. Okay, now in the hydraulic characteristic of circular sieve, we will go for all the proportionate parameter, that is the proportionate depth of flow, that is D by D ratio, which will be equals to 1 by 2 1 minus cos alpha by 2. I hope that it is clear to all, and we will move to the next parameter, that is the perimeter. Okay, now if we write the perimeter for the capital D depth of flow, it will be equals to pi into D, and its complete angle will be 360 degree. Now if we want to determine the perimeter for 1 degree, then we need to divide this value by 360 and it will be equals to 1 degree. Now for the small depth of flow, the angle which is forming at the center will be alpha. Now if this angle is alpha, we need to find the perimeter for alpha, that will be this value, that is A, B and C value. We need to find this perimeter. So for this perimeter calculation, we just write it as for alpha degree, what will be the perimeter? It will be indicated by small p because it is the perimeter for small depth of flow. So it will be equals to pi d alpha upon 360. Now pi d value will be the capital P value. So we will take it as capital P into alpha upon 360 degree, and we can write it as small p by capital P. It will be equals to alpha upon 360. Now that will be known as what? Nothing but the proportionate perimeter. Okay, that will be the proportionate perimeter of the circular sieve. Okay, now we will go for the determination of capital area A, that will be equals to what? Pi d square by 4. That will be equals to what? Pi d square by 4. Now this is for the complete 360 degree angle. Now if we want to find the area for 1 degree angle, then it will be equals to pi d square upon 4 into 360. Now we need to find the area for the small depth of flow for this. So we just find the area for the alpha degree. Okay, now for the alpha degree, what will be the area? It will be the complete area like this. But we need to find this blue area for the small depth of flow. So we need to subtract from the area of sector the area of triangle, and we can determine this area, that is the blue portion area. Okay, now we will go for the determination of this blue portion area, that is A, B, C and D. Okay, now for the alpha degree angle, what will be the area? It will be equals to pi d square alpha upon 4 into 360 degree. But we need to find the area for the small depth of flow, that is A. Okay, so it will be equals to the area of sector minus area of the triangle, which will be equals to half into base into height. Now base will be what? It will be equals to AC, and height will be equals to OD. So it will be equals to AC into OD. Now what will be the value of AC? It will be equals to 2 times of AD. Okay, it will be equals to 2 times of AD, and we just write it as 2 times of AD into OD. Now from 2 to 2 cancel out, and we have the value of AD and OD, which will be equals to D by 2 sin alpha by 2 and D by 2 cos alpha by 2. So we just write it as pi d square alpha upon 4 into 360 degree minus D square by 4 sin alpha by 2 cos alpha by 2. Okay, sin alpha by 2 cos alpha by 2. But we know the an expression, that is sin theta equals to 2 sin theta cos theta. We know the expression that sin theta is equals to 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. So we are just going to use this equation here. Okay, now when we use this equation here, we have the value of small a, which will be equals to pi d square alpha upon 4 into 360 degree minus d square by 8 into d square by 8 into sine alpha. Now we will take pi d square by 4 common. Now we will take pi d square by 4 common, and what will be left in the bracket? It will be equals to, see here, if we write the small a value, it will be equals to pi d square by 4, which we had taken common, pi d square by 4. Now what will be remaining in the bracket? It will be equals to alpha upon 360 degree minus sine alpha upon 2 pi. So we had just taken the pi d square by 4 common. Now what will be the value of pi d square by 4? It will be equals to capital A. So we will take the ratio as small a by capital A, which will be equals to alpha upon 360 degree minus sine alpha upon 2 pi. And what it is known as? It is known as the proportionate area. We will say it as proportionate area. Now we had calculated the proportionate area. Now we will move for the calculation of hydraulic mean radius. Now small r, for the small depth of flow, the small hydraulic mean radius will be equals to small area upon small perimeter or wetted perimeter. Now we have the value of small a, which will be equals to capital A alpha upon 360 degree minus sine alpha upon 2 pi. Okay, now what will be the value of small p? It will be equals to capital P into alpha upon 360 degree. Now what will be the ratio of a by p? Capital A by p, it will be equals to capital R. So the r by r ratio comes out to be alpha upon 360 degree minus sine alpha upon 2 pi upon alpha upon 360 degree. And what we called it as? We called it as proportionate hydraulic mean radius. That is the proportionate hydraulic mean radius. Now we have determined the proportionate hydraulic mean radius. Now we will go for the determination of velocity of flow according to the Manning's formula. Now according to the Manning's formula, what will be the flow in the sewer? It will be equals to 1 by n, because we need to find the flow for the small depth of flow. So it will be equals to 1 by small n, r, small r to the power 2 by 3 and small s to the power 1 by 2. Now what will be the capital flow, or what will be the capital depth of flow? If the flow is taking at a depth of capital D, then what will be its value? Its value will be equals to 1 by capital N, capital R to the power 2 by 3 and capital S to the power 1 by 2. Now we use the same type of sieve for both the cases. Now if the same type of sieve will be there, then it will be equals to what? Manning's coefficient will be equals, okay, that is small n will be equals to capital N. Now if we provide the same slope to both the sewer, then small s will be equals to capital S. Now we will take the ratio of both this value, that is small v by capital V. It will be equals to n by small n, small r by capital R to the power 2 by 3 and small s to the capital S to the power 1 by 2. Now these parameters are same, so v by v value only varies with the ratio of r by r to the power 2 by 3, because n by n is same and s by s is also same. So it will be depending on only r by r value, that is 2 by 3. Now we will just write here the r by r value, and it will be equals to small v by capital V. It will be equals to alpha upon 360 degree minus sine alpha upon 2 pi upon alpha upon 360 degree to the power 2 by 3. What we called it as? We called it as proportionate velocity of flow. We just called it as proportionate velocity of flow. Okay, now we had determined the proportionate velocity of flow also. Okay, now we had determined all the parameters. Now we will go for the discharge calculation. Now we will go for the discharge calculation. Now we know that for the small depth of flow, discharge will be equals to small a into small v, and for the capital D depth of flow, the discharge will be given as capital A into capital V. Okay, now we will take the ratio of both this, then it will be equals to q by q, which will be equals to a by capital A and small v by capital V. Now we know the value of a by a and capital V by small v. It will be equals to alpha upon 360 degree minus sine alpha upon 2 pi into alpha upon 360 degree in minus sine alpha upon 2 pi upon alpha upon 360 degree. That will be the complete q by q ratio to the power 2 by 3, and it is known as nothing but the proportionate discharge. Okay, what we called it as? We called it as proportionate discharge. So we had find all the hydraulic characteristic of the circular sieve. That will be all the complete circular sieve design. Okay, it is clear to all. Now we can move to the egg-shaped sieve. What is egg-shaped sieve? Okay, now if we need to provide two separate circular sieve for sewage flow and for sewage flow, we need to maintain at least half of the depth in each of the sieves so that both the sieve will run efficiently. But in the summer season, what will happen? The amount of water that will be flowing in the sieve is very less. That's why its efficiency will becomes less, or its efficiency decreases. So we need to use the egg shaped sieve in place of two circular sieve. Okay, now circular sieve section is mostly used for separate sieve system, but the advantage of circular sieve is obtained when the section run at least half full. I had already discussed with you. When the depth goes below the half depth, the velocity reduces considerably. Thus, to take the advantage of circular sieve, two such circular sieves are assumed to be combined and form a egg shaped sieve. Okay, now we had combined just two types of circular sieve and we made it as egg shaped sieve, just like an egg. Now the smaller circular portion in the summer season, when the flowing water is very less, then water will be flows to this depth. Now in the summer season, when the depth of flow is half of the below small circular sieve, okay, that is the half depth of flow in the small circular sieve, then small circular sieve will be efficient during the summer season. And in the rainy season, when there is enough amount of water in the circular sieve, then the water will flow to this depth. Okay, now in the summer season, the smaller section will be efficiently used or effectively used, and in the rainy season, the capital or the larger circular sieve is effectively used for the sieve purpose. Okay, now it is written here, the egg shaped sieve in which the smaller circular portion will be effective during dry weather, that is summer season, and full section is effective during maximum rainwater flow. That's why we need to take the advantage of circular sieve in the summer and rainy season. That's why we had combinedly called the two sieves as egg shaped sieve, and we will take the smaller section efficiently in the summer season, and the whole circular sieve or whole egg shaped sieve we will use most effectively the whole circular sieve or whole egg shaped sieve in the rainy season. Okay, that will be the complete egg shaped sieve. Okay, now we had almost covered all this topic, that is the design of sieve. That is all about the design of sieve. Now we can move to the next portion, that is the traps. Now we need to provide the traps below the WC, that is water closets, etc. And why traps will be needed in the below the WC? Because traps are the fittings used to prevent the passage of foul gases from the pipes to the outside. Now this is possible because traps do enclose or maintain water seal between pipe and the outside. This water seal generally varies between 25 to 75 mm. You had seen that below your WC, that is the seat of your latrine, okay, that is known as WC, water closet. Below that WC, a trap will be provided like this. Okay, a trap will be provided like this. Now why this trap will be provided? Because it will have a water seal which will prevent the coming of foul gases from the sewer into your WC. Okay, it will prevent the incoming foul gases from the house sewer or from the street sewer into your WC. Okay, that's why we need to provide the trap, so that we need to maintain a water seal between 25 to 75 mm, which will prevent the passage of foul gases from the pipes to the outside, and as well as from the outside sewer to the inside of your bathrooms and WCs. Okay, now depending on the types, their shapes, traps is generally classified into three types, that is P trap, Q trap, and S trap. It will be like P shape, so it will be known as P, and it will be like this Q shape, that's why it is known as Q trap, and it will be like this S shape, so it will be known as S trap. Okay, now this is the crown portion, this is the crown portion. Okay, and this is the dip portion. We know that this is the crown portion and this is the dip portion. Okay, now this is the water seal. This level is the water seal which we need to maintain in the trap, so that it will work efficiently and it does not allow any gases from the sewer to coming to the WC. Okay, it will not allow any of the harmful gases or foul gases to enter from the outside sewer to the WC. Okay, that's why we need to provide the traps. Now Q trap, the water seal is like this. Okay, now in S trap the water seal will be slightly higher as compared to P and Q trap. Now this will be on the basis of shapes. Now we had classified the traps again on the basis of their uses. Okay, now depending on their uses, first one is the floor trap, which will be like this, which will be like this. Okay, now these traps are generally used to admit water, that is sewage, from the floors of the rooms, kitchen, bath, etc. Now from the room, kitchen, bath floors, all the water will be coming like this and it will flow like this and it will goes into the house sewer. Okay, now a commonly used patented name of such a trap is called Nahani trap. If you want to purchase this trap, you need to go to the hardware shop and you need to call the Nahani trap. That's why it is also known as Nahani trap. So another name of floor trap is the Nahani trap. Clear? Now another trap is the gully trap. It is often provided at the junction of room or roof drain and the other drain coming from bath, kitchen, etc. It means that it is provided at the junction of kitchen as well as the roof drain. From the roof the water is coming like this. Okay, and from the kitchen the water is coming like this, and from both these sources water will be flowing like this, and from this it will take the sewage pipe or the house sewer. Okay, now the water seal generally maintained here is in between 50 to 75 mm, which is very high. Okay, now the next one will be the intercepting trap, which is one of the most important trap. Now you all had seen that in your house the sewer pipe which is coming inside from your house, this will be discharged directly into the street sewer. Now you had directly dumped this pipe in the street sewer. Now if you don't provide any intercepting trap on this point, then what will happen? All the foul gases of street sewer will come from this pipe and will reach to your houses through the water closet, and all the home will become stinking. Okay, due to the smell of street sewer. Now if you provide here an intercepting trap, then it will maintain a water seal here. Now this is the house sewer junction, that is this point. Okay, now no gases will be coming from this street sewer into your house because there will be a water seal which is shown here. Now this is because of this water seal, no harmful gases from street sewer will reach into your house. That's why we need to provide at the outlet of our house sewer pipe an intercepting trap so as to prevent the coming of harmful foul smell from the street sewer into our house. So it is generally provided at the junction of a house sewer and the municipal sewer so as to prevent the entry of foul gases from the municipal sewer into the house drainage system, and it has a high depth of water seal of the range of about 100 mm. Okay, now that will be the intercepting trap which we had discussed. Okay, now that is all about the design of sewer. Thank you very much, students.